your busy schedule to come and join us today. Please, we appreciate you and we thank you. Welcome, everybody. My colleague has talked about various the help and everything that SDG is what ADEF is doing for us, and this workshop the workshop team is building the next generation leaders for sustainable impact. As advocates of SDGs, our goal is to teach, train, build, tell people about SDGs. So that is a little way to contribute to grow and to work together so as to impact the world. So as advocates of SDGs, our work is not just to just have the knowledge about it. No, it's also about giving back to the society. That is training other people to know more about it. As youth, this is an opportunity to bring more people, let more people know about SDGs, how they can contribute, how they can partner together so as to better the world, not just the world, their communities themselves. I've seen what SDGs have been doing for so many people, how it has changed lives. So this is how we can be part of this opportunity, this initiative. So without taking much of our time, I'm going to dive right in. So we are going to welcome our first speaker. Our first speaker is Desmond Augustus, an SDG advocate and also a TED guru. Join me to welcome Desmond. Please, you can appreciate him at the chat box. He's going to be introducing to us Sustainable Development Goals. Please welcome him, Desmond. Thank you for joining us. Over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. And thanks very much for that.
You're welcome.
For that insights about the SDG. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this workshop. Like Ada have done the major introduction and don't need to start going back to it. So I don't know if I can have my camera. Okay. Let me see if I can on video. I think where I am is dark, so it won't really work. Okay, so I want to appreciate everyone for joining. We have about 13 participants here, so it is a great thing to have you guys joining us on this workshop series, titled Building the Next Generation Leaders. And it is it's a privilege, to be part of the EDEV mentorship program and having this opportunity to be part of this, workshop as well. So not wasting much of our time. So I'll be going into the introduction to, SDGs. So, and while trying to get my screen being shared, if you really know what SDG means, can you type in the chat box the full meaning of SDGs? If that's not your first time hearing that, can you type in the chat box the meaning of SDGs? While I get my screen shared. Sorry, my screen is loading. Sorry for the, I think my screen is loading. So I just want to, no, sorry. I don't know. Can we see my screen?
Yes, you can see.
Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You can
All right. Can
continue,
you,
please.
you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, please.
All right. So we'll be dealing with the introduction to SDGs. Like I said, if SDG is not, this is not the first time you are hearing that word SDG, just type in the chat box the full meaning of SDGs before we go into it. Let's just type in the chat box. All right, thank you very much. I can see, some people saying sustainable development goal. Thank you. Thanks for that. Thank you, Elshia. Thank you, Ada. So going further. So introduction to SDG, which is the main topic. So we have the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure peace and prosperity for all people by 2030. So the aim and the essence for the Sustainable Development Goals, were to end poverty, to end poverty, to protect the planet, and to ensure peace and prosperity for all people by 2030. So it's a goal that must be achieved, within the time frame of, 2030. So by 2030, these goals are expected to be met, and every one of us are actually working towards it. And it's because of this that we are all here today, just to see how we can leverage on it in order to be active citizens in our various, communities. And moving further, so what are the sustainable development goals? So we said the 17 SDGs were adopted by all United Nations members states in 2015. This was adopted in 2015 as part of the 2030 agenda for sustainable development. So the SDGs are interconnected and addresses the global challenges we face, including those related to poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace and justice. So these are what the SDGs, is all about. They are all interconnected together, trying to address, the global issues. The global issue that we are facing United Nations thought of it that, okay, if you can come from your community, I can come from my own community, from different communities, you can come together to look at the challenges that we are facing as a community, and put head together, we can be able to create solutions that are sustainable, and this is the reason why the United Nations in 2015 came together, to create this. We have about all the United Nations members, coming together to help this, and the SDG just to help us to solve the problem of poverty. Poverty is a global issue. Climatic change is a global issue. Environmental degradation, peace and justice. So these are global issues that we face every day, and coming together to solve it. So what we're talking about, SDGs, what is the meaning of sustainable development? What do you mean by sustainable development? Why is it called sustainable development? So sustainable development is the development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It means that whatever we are saying that is sustainable today is something that meets the present need of individuals today without compromising the future needs of the next generation. So meaning that even though in the next 10 years, this same thing we are doing today, or this same solution that have been created today, can still be relevant without hindering the current need or hindering the needs of the next generation. So it means that it's sustainable. So it can stay for long. The next generation can also, make use of it and also leverage on it. And that is what sustainable development is. That's what sustainable development is. A development that it meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of of the future generation to meet their own need. And talking about the history, the history of the history of also the SDGs, the history and the background, how it all started. So, in 2015, the United Nations adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and this sustainable development consisting of 17 goals to achieve a better world by 2030. Before they came about the 17 SDGs, there had been, in the year 2000, there have been the Millennium Development Goals, which is the MDGs. So before they came about the SDGs, there have been the MDG, which is the Millennium Development Goals, and that was created in 2000. And that Millennium Summit that was done in UK, which resulted in the UN Millennium Declaration, a set of targets to be achieved by 2015. That included environmental sustainability, the eradication of extreme poverty, and equality for women, and was known as Millennium Development Goals. And because some of these goals were not really achieved by 2015, and that is the reason why in that same 2015, the UN government also adopted the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 SDGs. 17 SDGs. So that is the little background history of how this was adopted. So we say the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So the Sustainable Development Goals were, like I said before, they were adopted in 2015. There are 17 goals in total, covering a range of sustainable development issues. They are all 17 goals in total, covering a range of sustainable development issues in our various communities, various countries, and the globe. The goals are intended to be achieved by 2030 and aim to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure peace and prosperity for or these are the objectives of the goals to be achieved by 2030, with the aim to, end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure peace and prosperity. And the reason why we are here today is because we we want to be part of this. We want to be part of this movement, trying to create a sustainable solution for everyone. Our community has been facing one challenging or the other. So I'm going to, be asking some series of questions just to create our mindset in order to be able to navigate if our community is actually facing this particular issue. So when we talk about the first goal is no poverty. So by 2030, the UN government, the UN members, the states under the UN or United Nations, want to achieve all this. So all the countries under United Nations want by 2030 there should be no poverty. And how can we identify if that has really ended? And the question is, are there people in your community who cannot afford things like a decent home, food, or clothes? So if this question still says yes, that there are some people in your community who cannot afford, basic needs or basic necessity of life, which are, decent home, they can't afford decent home, they are sleeping on the street, they don't have food or clothing. So if the answer is yes, means that that this is a global, this is an issue that needs to be to be solved. This is a problem that needs to be solved. We talk about zero hunger, which is SDG 2. Are there people in your community who still beg for food because they cannot afford to grow or buy their own meals? So a lot of people are out there. So this question is just to to frame our mind if these problems, do they really occur in our communities? Do we really have them in our communities? And if they are really existing in our community, then this call is to us to be able to bring solutions to it, sustainable solutions to it. So lack of good health and well-being. Do the hospitals in your community have the best equipment to cater to sick people? If the answer is no, it means that there needs to be a solution for that in our various communities. Do the hospitals in your community have the best equipment to cater for the sick people? You just ask yourself, reflect on all these questions, and give yourself answer. No, let's challenge you that you need to come out there and become an active citizen, active participant in your community, seeing the need that your community is lacking, and trying to bring a solution, a sustainable solution to it. Talk about quality education and inclusion, and that is lack of quality education. Are there public schools in your community in need of better classrooms, labs, teachers, and material needed for conducive learning environment? Some, some students, some children today, or some individuals today cannot afford to go to school because there are no public schools around, and even the private one, they can't afford it because of money and and maybe because of poverty. When we talk about poverty, when I was looking at the whole 17 SDGs, I found out that the number one, which is poverty, in fact, it encompasses everything. Everything is all just under it, because every other thing that is under this SDGs from 2 to 17, they all goes under no poverty, and it's as a result of poverty that we are having most of these issues. So lack of quality education. Are there public schools in your community in need of better classrooms, labs, teachers, and material needed for conducive learning? So if there is no to this question, it means that there needs to be a solution, a sustainable solution to this. We'll talk about lack of gender equality. I'll be running because of my time. Are there girls in your community who are denied the right to education just because they are girls? Just because they are girls. So are there girls when we talk about gender equality, are they deny the right of education just because they are girls in their own in the community, because they are girls, and because of that, there's segregation among them in the community. So if there is answer to that, then they need to be, need to stand up out there to to take up this challenge on trying to solve this solution. And as you see, talking about clean water and sanitation, so lack of clean water, are there communities around you that do not have access to clean water? If you look at the picture there, some people go to river, and this river, you don't know where it's flowing from, and you don't know the source where it's coming from. You don't know if it has been polluted or not. You don't know whatever thing has gone into that water, and you find out that some people goes to the stream to fetch such water and use it, and which they are not really healthy. So are there clean water in your communities? Are there clean water in your communities? Are there clean water in your communities? I just want us, as we are going through all this, for us to have the full understanding of what the SDGs are trying to solve. The problem that they are trying to solve, and these are questions that was spark us to think, reason, and better understand how to create solutions to all this. So talk about a decent work and economic growth. Are there decent jobs? Or are people working the same jobs being paid equally? Are there youth who are currently unemployed or underdeployed in your community? So these are global issues that we encounter in our community, that even the youth are facing. The unemployment in my own country, I would say is it's also rampant. We have a lot of unemployed youths, and and this time around, I know that everybody is trying to, the way we Africans are trying to get over this is through entrepreneurship. So everybody is trying to become an entrepreneur just to try to solve this particular solution. You can also be an entrepreneur that can create jobs for other youths to be an employer of laborers. So where if there are if there are people that are working the same job and be paid differently, that means there is a need for a solution in that community. So lack of innovation and infrastructure. Does everyone in your community have access to internet? This was a challenge to my company, or the company that I volunteered for, to work as a project manager. So, and they were trying to create this solution for education, just for undeserved communities or underdeserved communities. And we find out that, okay, these people don't really have access to internet. It's a tech company, but to solve this problem, they need to be access to internet, because every solution they are creating is there for them to just go online and access it. But when there's not this access to internet, there's no way we can they could bring this solution to this particular group of people. So does your community also have the same challenge? Everyone does not have access to internet, and there's a lot in the internet that we can learn today. So if there is a need for that, that is an innovation. Does anyone in your community have access to electricity? Does anyone in your community, just look at the things in terms of infrastructure, good road, good transportation, and so on and so forth. Does your community have, does anyone in your community, does everyone, let me not say anyone, everyone in your community have access to all this? So when we talk about inequalities, and does everyone in your community have access to equal opportunities? Does everyone in your community have equal opportunities? So if there's no to this question, that means there's the need for solution. They'll talk about lack of sustainable cities and communities. Is your community built to endure and keep people safe during disasters like flooding? So are there sustainable cities? Are there, I can remember when I'm in the city of Lagos and in Nigeria here, and remember when they said they want to turn Lagos into a smart city, it's still in view anyways. So, but what I was trying to say is that does your community, have what it takes, to be safe during natural disasters like flooding? So are there infrastructures, to help them, when these natural disasters occur? Irresponsible consumption and production. So do you still have chemicals released into the air? I think water or soil that have adverse effects on the people in the community, in the environment. So talk about this 13 climatic action. I know this is so familiar to every one of us, and I know that they have been working on this over the time. So, and when they talk about bush burning against, they stood against bush burning, fossil fuels, and so on and so forth. Are there people in your community, in your country currently affected by disasters such as, flood, famine, and drought due to, climatic change? And most of these problems are also being caused by we individuals. And this is the reason why we are having this workshop, just to let us know that okay. So I think I need to move far because of my time. So some of these problems are actually being created by some of us as individuals. I could remember someone telling me that, okay, why is it that when you buy, for instance, you buy the bread is inside nylon, and you still demand them to give you nylon, and demand for them to give you another nylon, and the second nylon you are collecting, when you get home, you remove the both of them and just throw it carelessly anywhere, and with this it becomes environmental problem. Start creating environmental problem, when blocking the drainage and causing a lot of eruption whenever rain falls. And these are little problems that we create for ourselves subconsciously, not putting so much mind into it. So 14, we'll talk about danger to life below water. So life below water. So what is the danger to life below water? Do some communities in your country still pollute the ocean with all sorts, such that it endanger the lives of the animals and plants that live below water? So some communities still understand that, okay, there are lives below water and they cherish this, or do they just pollute the oceans, the rivers, that in your community feeling less concerned, whatever thing that is living under it? So if there's still need for this, then there's a need for sustainable solution. Lack of peace, danger. Okay, we talk about SDG 16 is on life on land. We'll talk about life below the water, and we talk about life on land. So danger to life on land. The communities in your country still contribute to deforestation and other harmful practices that may lead to the loss of natural habitat and the lives of animals on land. So these questions are just to spark our understanding of what the UN government they are trying to solve, and that is the reason why we're having this workshop, and that is the reason why we also have undergone mentoring section, just to help us to become active citizens. And when we see all these problems, can be able to identify it and look for sustainable solutions towards it. So 16, which is lack of peace, justice, and strong institution. Are bribery and corruption existing in your community? Do criminals go scot-free without justice? If there's a need for this, then you need to speak out. I also belong to an organization called MST. So you speak out for justice, and it's a platform you can also join if you want to be the type that want to stand out there to speak out for the injustice. People that are people that are being blamed for what they don't do. So amnesty is one of the the groups that you can join, be a member as well. So and SDG 17 is what that brought us here today. So and that is partnering so this partnership with the other goals. So we are partnering with government, with other stakeholders in the private sector, just to see that all these are accomplished. So the United Nations, I've been mentioning about the United Nations right from the time I started. So the United Nations was created in 1946. It is the largest existing international organization with 193 member states. Our country, Nigeria, is one of the states under the United Nations. I'm speaking about my countries, and I also believe that other countries representing in this call also belongs to this UN government. So the purpose of the United Nations is, it starts with maintaining peace and security in the world, helping to solve the problems that affect us, or promoting respect for human rights of all people, including children and young people, and providing support to countries to. All right, thank you, Ada. To countries for this purpose. I think that is all I have for today. So thank you for listening and joining us in our mission, and our mission to achieve better world for all, other world for all through sustainable development goals. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Desmond. We just appreciate him. At the comment section, please react with your favorite emoji. Thank you so much. You've gained a lot today. Desmond introduced SDGs. Key points I took note of was the period when SDG started, when it was adopted. It was adopted in 2015 by the United Nations. And we have 17 SDGs. These SDGs are used to help, there are solutions to the challenges that we have in our community, in our nation, in our world today. Also, I understood from him that SDG, the definition of sustainable development is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. So if you not learn anything today, you learn that one today, the definition of sustainable development. And so another key point I noted is that SDGs came from MDG, that's Millennium Development Goals. And one big question we need to ask ourselves today, and what kind of solution we are going to give to our country, to our community, is what is lacking in your community and how can you be part of the solution? For example, in my community, let's say my village now, we have problem of let me just put low quality education. So how can I be part of helping to um, um, let me say improve the quality of education in my village for where I am? So that is what everybody should go back with. So if in your community, is it injustice? In your community, is it poverty? In your community, is it lack of clean water? In your community, is it lack of good hospital or whatever, or lack of good job? How can you be part of the solution? This is why we are this is why we are trying to build the next generation so that they can have good impact in their community, even in your home, among your neighbors living with you. You can start by, okay, maybe your neighborhood is dirty. People are always littering the compound. You can start with advocating for cleaning the compound. That is being part of. So it starts small, it's not big. Thank you so much, Desmond. Thank you for your time. So our next speaker now is Hajira Chiwigya. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. She has a BSc in Agricultural Extension and also an SDG advocate. She's going to be talking to us about leveraging technology for advancement of sustainable development goals. Please appreciate her and welcome her. We can appreciate her at the chat box. Please, thank you. Hajira, you're welcome. Please join us. Please, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, okay. We can hear you.
Okay. Is Hajira with us? You can please unmute your mic.
She is here, but please unmute your mic.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, please. Hi. Okay. She will join us soon. Please bear with us. Okay, we can use this time to, we are going to ask our questions at the end of the section. Please, you could drop what you're passionate about and what solution will you want to bring to your community? What is lacking in your community from what Desmond has told us today?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. All right. Hello, my name is Hajira Chikuya. I want to present on leveraging technology for sustainable development goals, but Ada, I can share my screen. It's saying the host has disabled screen sharing. So should I just present without sharing the screen?
Okay.
Okay,
And continue.
continue.
All right. I think I can share now.
You can share your screen.
Yeah, I have seen it. Let me share just a moment.
So as I earlier said, as she's trying to, okay,
Okay.
she's okay.
All right, so this is my presentation, leveraging technology for sustainable development advancement. So the last speaker outlined what the sustainable development goals are. And I'm here to talk about the technology and the SDGs. So overview, these are the sustainable development goals. Now, what is leveraging? What is to leverage? Leveraging technology means using technology to make things easier, better, or faster. It involves using technology as a strategic resource to achieve specific goals or objectives more efficiently or effectively than would be possible without it. So the intersection of technology and sustainable development, we have seen drones being used to spray chemicals in maize fields. We have seen devices used to monitor the health system. We have seen people learning online. We have seen people creating applications used to teach other people online. We have seen the creation of solar panels that use renewable energy, that are renewable energy sources. We have seen people making wind turbines, just leveraging technology to contribute to the sustainable development goals. So I have case studies from Malawi. I have two examples. The first one is from William Kankwamba, who developed a windmill from scrap and spare parts to bring electricity to his home. Kankwamba used resources that were available in his village in Kasungu in Malawi to create a windmill, as you can see in the picture. And he used that windmill to generate electricity and used that power to pump water to irrigate crops in his village. The other example is ITAP, a solar-powered water kiosk by intelligent monitoring systems whereby people use cards to swipe. They swipe cards and then the water starts coming. This kiosk is powered by solar, so the water is pumped using solar power, and then people get clean water, contributing to the sustainable development goals. Now, what are the benefits of leveraging technology? There is access to information and education. You know, through the internet, we have access to a wealth of information, and there is healthcare and medical advances. There is the digital health records. There are, like in Malawi, there are drones that are used to deliver medicine, to deliver vaccines in remote areas. This is all leveraging technology to enhance healthcare delivery. There is economic empowerment. We have seen e-commerce platforms. We have seen digital payments. We have seen online marketplaces. People are ordering things from China, while in Malawi, they don't go to China, but they order something from China and it gets here. It's all the use of technology. We have agricultural innovations. There is precise farming. There is Internet of Things, where one could just use a phone to irrigate his field, maybe a field of maize, a field of whatever crop they want to grow. While they're at their home, they just tap on the phone and it gets connected, it starts irrigating the field. There is environmental monitoring and management. So technology aids in early warning systems, disaster preparedness, and effective response strategies, helping in building resilient infrastructures, contributing to SDG 9. Data-driven decision-making is helped by technology. Technology enables the collection of and analysis of data, which is crucial for evidence-based policy making and monitoring progress of SDGs. All these are enabled by technology. Now, the challenges that we face when using technology, there is a digital divide. There are some people who think they know better than others. There are some people who use the same technology to bully others. There's technological illiteracy and skills gap. Most of the people in Africa have very low literacy when it comes to technology. There is high cost and affordability. As just to use the internet, it costs a lot, and this hinders people from using the technology to advance SDGs. There's lack of customization for local contexts. Yeah, as you know, most of the technologies, they come with maybe the language that some people do not understand in their local context. You know, when we want to take technologies to the rural people, we should expect them to not to understand, because the language that we are using is not the language that they use in their everyday lives. There is environmental impact. Some technologies they may bring out maybe some gases that pollute the environment. They may bring out some results that are not good for the environment. There's infrastructure gaps. There's a long way to go for example, for African countries to leverage technology fully. And there are ethical considerations such as cybersecurity. Like I said, cyberbullying is very common, and the issues of privacy. There's issues of intellectual property issues. Some people may just copy what their friends are doing and use them as their own. There are regulatory and policy considerations in every country which may hinder the use of technology. And these are the possible solutions to the challenges that I have discussed. We should promote digital inclusion. We should invest in digital literacy and skills development. For example, there is a lady in Malawi who is bringing technology education to the poor people, to the rural people in Malawi. And her initiative is called MHub. She teaches people technology. I think we should adapt technology to local context. Like I said, we may bring technology to the local people, to the rural people, but how do they understand it? How do they grasp the content we are giving to them? We have to prioritize affordability and accessibility. There should be, the materials used for technology should be affordable, should be that everyone can have access to them. We should ensure data security and privacy. We should encourage environmental friendly technologies. Now we have to leverage collaboration for success, because all of these to be used to advance the sustainable development goals, one can't do it alone. We have to collaborate, we have to make partnerships, we have to make alliances. These alliances will help us in mobilizing resources, mobilizing expertise and innovation. I may have an idea of what I want to do, of what I want to make, but I may be hindered because I don't have the skills in technology. So I might find someone who knows, someone who might make what I have in my mind. Then we make a collaboration. Together we make something bigger. Now the future possibilities of technology, the future trends. There is biodiversity monitoring and conservation technologies. There is water purification and desalination technologies. There is circular economy technologies. We have renewable energy innovations. We have Internet of Things, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and we have drones and autonomous vehicles. So a call to action to my fellow Africans for sustainable development. Let us unite in a shared commitment to harness innovation, digital inclusion, and sustainable practice to accelerate progress towards the SDGs. Together, we can turn the potential of technology into meaningful impact for the betterment of humanity and the planet. If you want to learn some technological concepts, if you want to learn artificial intelligence, if you want to learn data science, machine learning, backend and front-end development, there's this organization called Africa Agility, but it trains girls. It has a program called Girls in Technology, Ladies in Technology. So you can go to africaagility.org and see what they offer. Africa Agility offers these courses for free, but there's arxafrica.com, which offers software engineering, data analytics, and cloud computing, but at a fee. We can leverage these, we can use these platforms. These platforms are for Africans, they are meant for Africans. So I think we can use them so that we can leverage technology for sustainable development. I think that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think you did not show us your slides.
Oh, you didn't see them?
No, it was just fixed on one.
Can you see them now?
It's now that it's moving to thank you, Asante.
But I was sharing.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Can you see my screen now?
we can actually see your screen, but we didn't see you sharing. It was just steady, it didn't move.
It didn't move.
Yes, you need to like click on it for us to see. Yes, it's now we are seeing
Okay, so
case study.
so these are the technologies that I was talking about. This is a windmill that was developed using scraps and spare parts.
Okay.
And this is the tap that I was talking about. You just swipe with a card, then the water starts running.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
thank
at that,
you.
okay.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Let's appreciate our speaker. We can do that as a comment section. Okay, so she told us about leveraging technology for advancement of sustainable development goals. From the pictures, you could even see how technologies are being used. Um, we use technology for farming, education, human needs, everything. Actually, almost everything we use technology for it. She also talked about the benefits of technology, especially for sustainable development goals. Is my voice echoing? Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, one of the benefits of technology is using technology to enhance healthcare. She told us how drones are used in Malawi to send drugs to some rural communities. It's a very great idea, a very great innovation. Increase in trade from one country to another. Yes, from here I can buy something from China. We use Amazon, we use Jumia, we use Konga, Kilimall in Kenya, for example. So all those things are what how technology has helped us today. It also helps for education. We have, for example, Udemy, uh, Udemy that helps even for primary school students, help them for e-education. And also technology for financial inclusion. We have our mobile apps today. We have agent banking, and these are the contributions from that agent banking, like POS. That's what I mean. Um, Better decision making and policy making that we face today can be any challenges that we face today in policy making and decision making can be easily dealt with technology. And okay, so she also discussed the challenges we face today using technology. Yes, technology is all good, but we still have its disadvantage. For example, cyberbullying, cyber theft. Yes, you can see how um, people use POS and ATM cards to take people's money. Even you don't even need your card, just let them know your number. They can do anything they want to do with it. Especially, and then she talked about in Africa we have low literacy rates in use of tech. If you go to rural communities, you see that some people cannot use even the easiest kind of phones is still difficult for them to use. Um, High cost in Africa. Yes, to have access to internet today, you pay a lot of money, and that is one thing that we face in Africa. We also face language barrier. Not everybody that is having a phone knows what is in the phone. Not everybody understands what they are saying. So some people need it to be in their language for them to understand what's going on. And then she also talked about how environmental issues from tech like um, gases that can come out from maybe a device or something that is used to help solve an issue, but is still affecting the environment. So solutions to these challenges are investing well, investing properly, not just investing, making sure that the technologies are well built and used so that to avoid environment issues and protection from cyber bullying and cyber theft. And that is why now cyber security is now really involved. Like people are studying it to help protect people's privacy and people's money and the rest of it. Also, she said that the we should we should invest more in environment friendly technologies, which is very important. So this is a call for everybody to join hands together to help leverage better technology for each and every one of us. Thank you so much, Hajeria. Thank you for this great topic. We appreciate you. Our next speaker is Fekandu by he's an SDG advocate and is also passionate about building Africa. He's going to be discussing in details about building the next generation leaders for sustainable impact. Please appreciate him and welcome him to talk to us today. Thank you so much. Bye. Are you with us?
Hey, everybody,
Yes, we can see you, we can hear you. Welcome.
hey, how are you? Good evening, good afternoon. From Ethiopia, how are you? This is Kazuwaye from Ethiopia. Like I'm a part of the SDG, like mentorship program. Regarding about this, it is the African the first time workshop says, so we will discuss about that based on our views. So all of my speaker and co-hosts just appreciate and thankful for you. Like Hajra and Augustine, it is amazing and amazing, a wonderful presentation, and I gained a lot of experiences or a lot of skills from you. Thanks so much. Just let me discuss about or share with you something about my topic. So let me share a screen. Yeah, can you see?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, we
Hello.
can. Thank
Okay. Let us like it is the first time or the first at the development stage we discuss about South African SDG workshop. So it's regarding about this. It's done as a category, it's done about the sustainable development goal of 17 goal as much as possible. We discuss about so especially where 17 goal submitted the partnership of that goals. So just we have to discuss about the building the next generation for the sustainable impact. This is our topic and discuss about for this. So let me like discuss about this. This is our diet. This is our Africa. This is the Pan Africa. This is like imagine. It is a good and a golden beginning for change everything or change maker for the next future or the next the next goal or the next African development goal using regarding about the sustainable impact, which means build the next generation with the sustainable impact. Let me about the introduction part. The introduction part is about the sustainable impact. Positive sustainable impact for and interesting for So as much as it's sustainable impact refers to the positive and the lasting effect of action and initiative for the environment, the society, and the economy. That means it is a positive and a lasting effect. You know, like a sustainable means it is improved already. This is the impact to for the positive and the lasting effect of action for initiatives of the environment, the society, as much as for the economy, and the third thing that is involved in creating a solution. That means it is generating forces a new idea or addressing a current challenge, but is a pressure, resource, and opportunity for the future generation, future forces, and creating a solution for one challenge or one completely that much of our challenges. So we have to be generate or create a good solution for this and are looking for the challenges. That means it is as a sustainable impact or the impact of the sustainable. And the other one it is mainly focused on the aim to achieve a balance between economic growth, social welfare, and environmental protection, as much as they require a collaboration or participation of the so-called the African or the every the whole African nations. That means it's a sustainable impact. That means actually balance between the economic growth, the social welfare, and the environmental protection. That means if you collaborate and participate and for the stakeholders to collaborate to do or doing like sustainable impacts. The other one is for what about for the importance of building the generation leader for sustainable impact. What about the importance? Build the generation, the next generation leader for sustainable impact. That means we have to be important policies like innovation, collaboration, education, responsibility, and continuity. It is the major important point of build the next generation leaders for the sustainable impact. That means innovation means bring a fresh perspective or innovative idea to the table. That means generate a new idea or a fresh perspective like and innovate ideas to the table and solve for the challenges or like as an entrepreneur or as a startup as even as a business category. So it's the innovation side that to bring a fresh perspective or innovation idea to the table. The next one is the collaboration. Using create a good collaboration that means sustainable impact collaboration across the different sector and stakeholders to collaborate and intercoordinating to do such like. The other is the educational phase. The educational phase is important. One of the important to build the next generation leader for the sustainable impact education. That means involve educated to about the importance of the sustainability and provide them with the skill and the knowledge of the impact. That means it is the importance of the building the next generation leader for sustainable impact. It is one part is education and responsibility. Responsibility with the earth and planet and plant and challenge by building their capacity for sustainable impact. That means earth and planet for the challenges. That means build up the next generation leader for sustainable. That means it is responsible. It is our game. It is like what to do for the next leader. What to do? As you have to be responsible. So the responsibility is the main and the important point of build the next generation leader for sustainable impact. The next is the continuity. That means continuity is require a long-term thinking and planning by building the next generation of the leader. That means everything or especially the whole African country is stop with every project or every task is already started. After that, a few days or a few months or years going, after that we stop it for some reason. So it is continuity is require a long-term campaign and planning. That means build the next generation of the leader. It is the main and very important of the building the next generation leader for sustainable impact. It is all about the importance of building the next generation leader of the sustainable. And the other one is the characteristics of the next generation leader or the next generation. In fact, it's important leader. It is the character of one person or one company or as much as the whole political leader is what about the character of the next generation leader build up or what's the character of the next generation leader? That means it is the main or it is the first, it is visionary thinking. You know, it is vision. You have to be thinking for this. The next as a visionary think. Adaptive change. like adapting to change for something is happened for the challenge or a that's adapted to challenge or face something like school, you have to be somebody or you have to be like change for his adaptability to change. It is the main character of the next generation leader. The other one is collaboration of the skill. That means collaboration of the skill leader to leader or the next if we could build the next generation leader. Collaboration is the main and it is the essential part of the characteristics of the next generation leader. That means collaborative skills within technology, within agriculture, within political, within social, within ecological, within like another legal. So how to be collaborative to do both in this way. As a leader, build for the next generation leader, you have to be like a collaboration. And still it is the character of generation, the next generation leader. The next one is strong communication skills. As SDG for the 17 code, indicating about for I'm showing for the five figure as a tree, like it is represented for the strong communication skill one, like it is the first visionary thinking, adaptive to change, collaborating skill, the next is strong communication skill, within for the certain level of the naked communication leader, how to be a strong communication skills. And the next is or the last report is emotional intelligence. You have to be a character of next generation leader, emotional intelligence. It is the main and the main characteristics of the next generation leaders. You have to be figure out the type this point as a CDG 117 codes. As generally think about for a leader, what to do with the character, what about what is the main character of the next generation leader. As a visionary thinking, adaptive to change, collaboration with speed, strong communication skills, emotional intelligence is the character of next generation leader. And the other one is like a skill is required for sustainable impact. What about for the skill required for a sustainable impact? That means build for the sustainable impact with the next generation leaders. You have to think about what is a skill. You have to be somebody or someone like have a skill or a leadership or a management skill. That means what about that skill? Means that the skill is mainly categorized for the critical thinking, problem solving, innovation, resource management, environmental awareness. This is generally required for the sustainable impact for the skills. The first one, critical thinking. You have to be critical thinking. It's now like in creative. Creativity, we have to be think about for to like if you generate a new generate or a freshman perspective to bring in for the table and discuss about that as much as possible. Require for the sustainable impact in the critical thinking. Then if it is problem solving, if it is a whole African country, like everything that is, everything for everywhere is challenging for the complex between country, like regional country or federal governmental offices, such like that is a problem or a complex that happens. So what about for the sustainable impact? What about the required for it? It is a correct measurement is problem solving. It is the main and the main skill required. That means problem solving in different angle or different dimension you have to be solved. Right, you want to be solving for the challenge or the issues. The problem solving is the main required and innovation. You have to be as African representing the whole African. You have to be as a United Nations category organized for 70 goals. So, like us, you have to be like the corporate and African. You have to be innovation. You have to do an innovation. You have to be sales or you have to be trade or any ideas or like innovate for something. Technology, political, social, ecological, agricultural, matter possible transportational, ministerial. It's like that in innovation. What about for people? We think the skill for innovation is the main and the part of the skill required for sustainable impact. Resource management, you have to be Africa have their own main resources, like in Nigeria, for the diamond or gold, such like that. When Ethiopia, a country like coffee, like it is export imported resources, how Africa own like it is so many resource management. So what about the resource management for the whole African countries? That means, basically, resource management, Africa have their own and they reach the resource management. So how to manage or how to go, like build up the impact required for the skill. The first one, or this resource management, is the main part of the skill required for sustainable impact. And the other one, environmental awareness, is good for to require a school for the next sustainable impact to create or repair for asset skills. Environmental awareness is the major and the one of the skill required for sustainable impact. The other one, of course, is build up the next generation leaders. What about in which way, just or in which strategy or in which methodology just to build the next generation leaders? That means a strategy for these generations want to be like a mentoring and coaching program. It's like as a SDG for 17 goals, you have to be a mentor and coaching program within Africa countries, country to country, or regional, just the whole state to state. Mentor and just organizing just like the mentoring program and coaching program, leadership development program. That means that give awareness or give like internship or apprenticeship opportunities to be develop or like build the next generation. It is the strategy for leadership development program and give internship or apprenticeship opportunity. And diversity and inclusion initiatives, community engagement, and service projects are the strategy or the way for building the next generation leader. At the SDG 17 goals, how to be generalized by build for the next generation leader by like initiate mentoring and coaching program, leadership development program, internship and apprenticeship opportunity, diversity inclusion incentive, community and then service project and strategy for building next generation. It's all about both the strategy for the building next generation for the sustainable leadership. In which way just in which way strategy in which way the strategy for building next generation leader have to be categorized for the 17 goals, who have to be as a sustainable development goal, have to be categorized in different up to yeah, 7 categories. So could be the first one, enhancing inclusiveness toward on the I don't know how can you see for the image. Just how to be like categorized for the strategy for the building next generation. Just like we're representing about for the 17 and the last goal. You have to be it is a partnership of the goal. You have to be for categorized re-engineering. Economic growth for the greater perspective strategy for the future next generation leader. As much as we have the categorized, it is I think for this not clear picture. I don't know, but it is what is seven categories that will be categorized for the whole 17 future goals as a strategy to build up the next generation. It is all about the strategy part. And what about the case study of the successful next generation leader? Think about or see or visit or like lecturing part or case study is the main part of build the next generation leaders or successful leaders as part of like in the whole countries or the whole the world. It is influencer people establish like a successful leader. Mark Zuckerberg, it is like a founder of Facebook, or like everybody about for the Facebook. It is Mark Zuckerberg is the founder of Facebook. It is the like study about for him, like what to do, or what are the method or the strategy, or what about for like the build up the next generation leader, or in which way successful next generation leader. This time mentioned for is like it is one of the influencer partner of the common founder of the Facebook. Elon Musk, like it is the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. It is like a successful leader. So how about for the decade period, the successful generation? We are African, we are Pan-African. So we have to solve for everything going Africa to Africa. Every problem is solved in Africa. Mission or discuss about what is African issue within African leaders. So what about the successful next generation leader? Grasa Thunberg, like environmental activists, Malaman Suzafi, like educational activists, such like such a nation person or making person is the life is successful next generation leader. So they say about for the past of the background or to say about their previous and history of successful person is and just go forward for the next generation leader. It is like a study of the case study of the successful generation leaders. You have to be like gain a lot of experience, a lot of skill or management or everything just or just the main sheet or just show lifestyle of the successful next generation leaders. Mission for these four influential persons. And the other part is like challenging in the building next generation leader have a challenging, like challenging building next generation leader is challenging most of the time within Africa. It is happening everywhere. So how can you solve it or how can you face these challenges? So what about the challenge? First of all, just investigate or like research about or survey for the challenge of for build the next generation leader. What about the challenge? You have to resistance change from older generation. Now, like it is recent change from older generation to leadership to leadership generation of the one leader to another leader. It is change from older generation. It's very resistance before change from older generation to new generation. It is the main challenge of the building next generation leaders. And the next lack of resource and fundraising or funding is challenge about for the building next generation leader. Especially in this party is including African, the whole African it is the lack of resource and funding. I'm not like agreeing this point, but Africa has their own resource. They have a resource in every country for African countries. But how can you use? How can you like fund like? How can you make or generate money or do that the next generation later? That means challenge lack of resource or sometimes some part of African countries a lack of resource and everything. So it is difficult for building the next generation leader. Limited access to educational and training opportunity. It is a lack of education and training opportunity for challenging or difficult to build the next generation leaders. And the last is an adequate leadership model and example. I mentioned for the successful leader. Like mentioned for the Professor Green, like a Mark Luther King, and Malachi It is like mentioned for a successful next generation leader. At this time, inadequate leadership model and example are made. You have to be like Cameroon. Okay. So inadequate leadership model and examples are very difficult for challenging including the next generation leaders. So how can you like this challenge and solve it or get about solve this the next beauty next generation leader? It is a main and the part of this financial problem, capacity building or support it, capacity gap, data limitation, coordination. It is a lack of the challenging to be next generation leader. So you have to be investigator, like collaborate to do these challenges and like see for the challenge. As much as they require a major investment, you have to be like, if it is possible at the right time, with the right goal, you also be require a major investment, more socio-economic indicator or more environmental related indicator. You have to be like check or like you have to be organized for the issues. After that, you have to be collaborate, survive both the data collection or management activity, technology, practical, instrumental, open data, data something like that. After that, you have to be data decide for or build up for the next generation leader. That means decide for the data decision making and data target or the main goal of the building the generation leader. So it is all about for the challenging about the building the next generation leader. At the conclusion, the importance of the building next generation leaders for sustainable impact cannot be overstated. Like the broad and multi-directional or things wide to describe about the building next generation leader. Because it is, like before the first slide, the important of building next generation, you have to be like initiate about education, innovative, continuity, responsibility, just like initiate for the important of the building the next generation leader. It's like the other part by investing in their development, you can create a better future for ourselves and future generations. So to be right, or as African, as a PDG, as the African workshop said, how to be like doing investing in their development, we can create a good and a better future for ourselves and future generation. Not only like Africa, you have to be represented as a community or as a village or as a state or city. You have to be like create a better future for ourselves and future generation. You have to be like self-inspired or developed by this way, like build the next generation leader. Let's work together to build a more sustainable and equitable world. It is the main and central part of our teams like regarding about the building the next generation leader for sustainable act PNP, like improved or sustainable for the sustainable impact, work together to build a more sustainable and equitable world. It is all about my presentation about it and my teams. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks so much, everyone. I love you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. We love you too. Thank you. That was very impactful. Thank you. Thank you, Bye. So he talked about sustainable impact. He defines it as the positive and lasting for initiative on the environment, society, and economy. It balances the economic growth, social well-being, and environment protection. Requires collaboration and participation for all stakeholders. The importance of sustainable impact is innovation, that's bringing new perspectives, e.g. entrepreneurs, collaboration, education, responsibility, continuity. Characteristics of next generation leaders: visionary, adaptability to change, collaboration skills, strong communication skills, emotional intelligence. Skills required for sustainable impact: critical thinking, problem solving, innovation, resource management, environment awareness. The strategies for building next generation leaders is mentoring and coaching programs, leadership development, internships, diversity inclusion initiatives, community engagement, and service projects. That was very good. So we talked about the success for next generation leaders. Successful next generation leaders. We have Mark, we have Elimos, we have Greta Thunberg, and we have Malala. They are doing wonderful things when it comes to sustainable development, sustainable impact in one way or the other. So, so you as a person, are you the next generation leader? Do you have, is there something you want to give back to the community? Is there a solution you want to solve? This is what we are discussing here today. So although we face challenges like lack of funding and resources, resistance from older generations, especially in Africa, we have that problem. And inadequate leadership models and examples, especially in Africa. As we sounding that in Africa, we need to, the older generation needs to understand that the next generation leaders are as important and they have something to bring to the table. Thank you so much. Thank you, Baye. We appreciate you. Now, this is section for question and answer. Please, if you have any questions, please you can just unmute your mic and ask, or you drop at the comment section, the chat box. Any questions for us? I'm seeing comments here, so thank you for joining us. Star Susan, thank you, Christiana, thank you for joining us. Thank you all participants. Please, if you have questions, please, this is the time. It seems like everybody understood and enjoyed this workshop.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was wonderful. I want to thank everyone for joining us in this workshop, right?
Okay.
Godwin, are you there? Do you have anything to say? Can you speak wherever you are?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Once again, good evening, good afternoon. Depending respective places, we joined the meeting from based on our time difference. I believe we've been really educated. Personally, I thought I knew it all about sustainable development goal, but today I must say some really exciting part of sustainable development got unraveled. So I just want to say a big thank you to our speakers for the time they must have put in preparing all this. That was absolutely amazing. That was great. Thank you. And for everybody that joined, by the way, my bad, I'm Oriofe Godwin Adebaje, a member of the SDG 17 group, which by privilege happened to schedule this workshop. So I hope we get to learn more subsequently about sustainable development goal. Thank you very much.